Welcome one, welcome all. It's time to take a look back at day 2 of the World Championships. The first game up will be Samsung Ozone taking on Team Mineski. Next on, we will move on to Vulcan Techbargains versus Russian powerhouse team Gambit Gaming, of course. Then we will see Samsung Ozone yet again, this time taking on the European mastodons of Fnatic. The fourth game that we will see will be Team Mineski in need of a win, taking on Vulcan Techbargains. That was actually a really good game. And then the fifth and final game will be Fnatic versus Gambit. Of course, we will also take a look forward to day 3, Wednesday's play. We'll take a look at those fixtures coming in the near future as well. Time to get the formalities out of the way. I am Jason J. Atkins, and this is the day 2 recap of the World Championships, of course. The first game we have is Team Mineski versus Samsung Ozone. Pretty damn good game as well. Samsung Ozone actually came out of the gate picking up first blood. You are going to see a lot of impo the next few clips. His AD carry was absolutely superb. Mineski, though, they didn't fold under the pressure. Many people have them picked as a dark horse throughout the tournament. I think that's gone a little bit too far, to be quite honest, but they did put on a good performance here, which made for perhaps the most entertaining game of day 2.
150 to 107 at one point, I think, and this is a start that may be even worse than that one.
And that mid lane's rough. Not having a Thresh to sit in a brush. Oh, Snoy, level 2 to that top lane. Dane's right there, level 3's onto that level 2. The damage is big. He goes up for the repel, and it's going to be Snoy trying to get out of this one. Dundee.
One thing that is most definitely notable about this next clip is Imp's use of Flash. He manages to get out of the way of Exo, who does burn his Ignite. Once he does, he comes back into the fight, picking up a kill onto his AD carry counterpart.
There, he's going to dive in. This is definitely going to be a kill on him. No! He flashes the wall right before the auto attack can get out of the hand.
This next clip will actually show you how important the emphasis on positioning actually is. Kaigu actually gets caught out of position, which enables a kill onto TG. So some bad play here from MSK, to be quite honest.
Side is TG and Exo. TG puts himself in the middle. He does have his ultimate, but he doesn't decide to throw it in the box until he's farther out of the fight there. Mineski going down on that one pretty hard, but Galaxy losing one as well.
That's exactly what we were just talking about.
Time now to take a look at how Samsung Ozone actually secured a bit of a snowball in the bottom lane. Imp and Dandy are both going to pick up kills.
Exo goes down from the extended ignite, but the running ignite.
Time to look at the straw that broke the camel's back, the 2 final team fights that really did secure the game here for SSO. Keep an eye on Looper on Shen. He does a lot of kiting of damage. In the second clip, he will die, but he takes so much damage that it's just not worth taking the kill.
Very low on mana. He's going to be staying on the outside. Mata goes in for the ultimate. He is focused down very fast. They're looking at Yume now. Eyes onto him. He takes the lantern home. The safety is there, and the ignite will not take him out. Oh, the shock blast. Just on the tail side there. Looks like they will finish off Snoy. Of the Iron Solari, and it looks like they get the flash flay. Fiddlestick's going to walk out of this one, silencing everybody down the line. Mata going down there, and it looks like they may try to turn on this one. Looper goes for the flash. He gets locked up there. TG going to be going down onto this one. They keep trading kills back and forth. So far, Mineski on top. Yume very low. Can he make it back into the fight to help his team? It's going to be the shots onto Imp. Looper coming in with the ultimate. Tries to get Exo so the damage can't be done. Kiting very well. Blade of the Root King keeping Exo alive in the fight. And holy crap, Mineski comes up huge.
With Exo and Yume picking up 3 kills between them, that double on Rise did help MSK actually last a little bit longer than perhaps they probably should have. But what we are going to see now is we're going to see the final team fight that pretty much seals the fate. It basically boils down to Imp and his positioning yet again. He was the MVP of the match for my money.
5v5 breaking out.
Gotta remember, Mata went down first in the last fight too. Mineski keeps it going. Their foot, it's on the pedal, and the pedals to the ground. Kaigu in the front of the fight here, tries to get the Wither down. He is going down. They're trying to put a body block for Exo right now. He's not being focused, but they do finally turn their eyes on. It's been a 2-for-1 so far. Mineski's looking to have 3 standing right now. They may not stop. They will not stop, and they keep going on to Exo. Looper and TG back and forth, and it looks like they'll be able to close off TG in just a few seconds.
Yeah, Ace comes back. In that fight, Ozone was actually able to play the disengage properly, and they get the ace back for themselves.
After a fairly lackluster opening day performance, Samsung Ozone pick up a much-needed victory over Team Mineski. We are going to move on to the next game now, which will be Gambit Gaming taking on Vulcan Techbargains. So let's jump in with the first clip.
Top lane for Vulcan as well, but they're doing what they can to keep Xmithy alive with Psycho Set in the bottom lane.
Whoa, Xmithy, you're getting crazy.
Level 4 to 4, they're going to Diamond! Could it be first blood? He pulls himself out just on the outside! It wasn't the Q! Psycho said couldn't hit it! The kill goes out! First blood going over to Voidal! And Genja gets the second one.
2 huge kills coming out for Gambit, and that's because Vulcan decided to go in a 2v3. They knew Gambit was going to be able to loop around the turret and go and get that one. They could have just taken the turret trade if they played conservative.
With Diamond tanking so much, that did enable the first blood onto Voidal and then the second kill on Genja to follow. What we are going to see next is Gambit set up for the opening Drake and pick up 2 kills because of it.
Quite unfortunate on the Vault Breaker, just out. He connects with it and he kicks it back. Oh man, double kill coming up for Alex.
So much time pink warding their own red buff. Gambit should be able to take this one uncontested.
It's gonna go. It'll take a bit. That Madrid's definitely helping out here. They're able to facilitate that. Throwing down Locket
just late.
Solari. Oh, Smithy on the outside. He comes into the fight. Psycho Sid from the back. A lot of damage onto Smithy. Trying to peel off Diamond so he can't do much, but goes down. Will there be a follow-up? Oh, it's gonna be the dive coming in from Darian. The crescendo comes out and ManCloud will not be able to help the team. Still the chase coming in. Psycho Sid goes down and there are kills across the map.
With that Nasha pickup, the 2 kills on Alex each and the 1 kill onto Darian, that pretty much set Gambit up for the victory. A lot of people thought this was going to be a much closer game. If you're a Vulcan Techbargains fan, you probably left disappointed.
That was perfectly coming down. That only helps them to get more objective here. That's the 3rd turret on this run, and it looks like Vulcan has the team up. They now want to engage. Those timers are up for them. Darian goes in, but it's a back off from everybody, and this is when Genja comes into play. Everybody's scattered, the living artillery to come down.
And they still have the Baron buff, regenning everyone up from Gambit to get 2 more kills. Gambit looks like they have a very quick victory here if they just finish it off.
A good body block there by Diamond as Genja still throwing that Bio Arcane and Living Artillery at his opponents. The first Nexus and the second turret fall at the same time. It's going to be the Nexus as well. 10-2. Gambit 3-0 here in Group B.
Gambit.
With that final push from Genja and Darian, Gambit do manage to secure the game. It was signed, sealed, and delivered by that basically Baron pickup. Not much that Vulcan Techbargains could actually do from that point forward. So a fairly one-sided game in what many hoped would be one of the games of the actual tournament, which is kind of a shame. But we do get to see Samsung Ozone versus Fnatic, and a great initial engagement between the two. We're going to see a 2-for-1 trade on top lane that eventually goes in favor of Fnatic.
The auto attacks, they're not going to be able to shred out. He has 2 in that queue and 1 in his Valkyrie. Just used that, the cooldown quite far. Mata's able to stay in. They have the sustain. That is the difference between the heals and not having the heals. And the first blood goes to Mata.
And so has teleported up. They're making that kill.
Dandy tries to go hard. The red buff is burning. Stop, drop, and roll for the safety.
As you can see, an uncontested Drake pickup for Fnatic sets up a triple kill on bottom. Kills for Cyanide, Soaz, and Puzu.
3 on the kills, both of these teams being able to dish out the damage as well as throw it back. Good offense and a good defense from both sides. Yellow Star with the Zenith blade, but they still throw it on the ultimate. Trying to fake that one out, but here comes that stand united. Cyanide as well comes into the fight, and they will be able to get this down. Very low. Looper is just getting crushed. A great ultimate coming in from Soaz, and they obliterate the bottom lane with 4 members.
And that's the dive.
Let's take a look now at what was probably the pivotal moment in this match between Samsung Ozone and Fnatic. We do see a big river fight that ends in a 4-0 in favor of Fnatic. Puzu picking up 2 kills right now.
They turn the fight around to Imp. Soaz is 1v1'd as well in the fight against Dandy. And Fnatic takes the jungle back. That was Ozone's.
4-0 in obliteration fight.
After the epic river fight, which Fnatic went 4-0 in, they did manage to push through, take an inhibitor, applied pressure, and basically finished the game 21-6. You can see exactly how they did that right now.
19-6 on the kills as they continue to chalk up those. Just getting it.
And you cannot run from this Fnatic team. They chase everyone down on Ozone. 21 kills.
Let's move on now. It is Team Mineski versus Vulcan Techbargains in a game that basically could decide who goes out of the group. I'm, pleasantly surprised with the way that Mineski have played. Then again, I'm a little bit disappointed with the way that Vulcan have played so far. America's supposed number 2 team, not really got to the point where most people would have expected them to be so far. This game they do win, but it is a hard-fought game against a team that perhaps they should have beaten a little bit more handily.
Try and help out, but he is going to be passing straight into that wall of pain from ManCloud. ManCloud going to keep the pressure on. He has got flash available. It may well require it because ManCloud's not going to give up the waste chase on here. Does manage to get the lay waste down. Ace in the hole coming out. ManCloud caught out there. Great chain of corruption from Exo, but the exhaust just timely. He's going to flash through. Gets the kill on towards ManCloud. Zuna in trouble around the backside. He's going to get taken down. You're going to see the Requiem landing. He's not going to find his target. Now they're going to get the lock-up on Bloodwater. Bloodwater tries to get the kill. He's got his passive available, but that's a third kill from Mineski.
Say what you will about Mineski, they are most definitely resilient, and that is what is evidenced in this next clip.
And Nasus has teleport.
He has teleport. There is also Stan United available. Oh, that's going to be, I think it was just off the side. Xmithy getting caught out completely. He's going to come in for this one. Doesn't get the steal. Instead tries to repel away, but he's got nowhere to go. Zuna's going to get dived on by Kaigu. And instead it's a bit of a sloppy fight. We do see a piercing arrow landing across. McLeod getting involved. Gets himself straight up towards Yume. He goes down. Snoy gets the kill there, but this could be good turnaround from Vulcan. There's going to be the Requiem coming down. He manages to get one. It's going to be another going down as well. Sid comes across, and that is almost the ace coming out here. One more to go. Snoy turns around, gets the flash, gets down on towards Xmithy. Bloodwater taken low, but Psycho Sid with that wither should have enough to finish him off. He tries desperately to get on Bloodwater, but it's not going to happen.
Very familiar to the game against Fnatic. Ooh, yes, that was close, but Vulcan go for an opening.
They're going to try and turn it around. Kaigu uses that paranoia, goes straight back in there. Stranglethorns will bounce a lot of them up. Bloodwater gets away from that. That's a good chain of corruption. Mancloud's going to get focused on, but he's managed to get that damage down.
Time now to take a look at what was probably the most important part of this Mineski versus Vulcan Techbargains matchup. It is basically Vulcan Bargains managing to bag the Baron. You'll also see Zuna's game step up from this point forward. He does manage to get the feed that he was looking for. And from this point, he is basically a distinct threat to anybody on that Mineski squad.
Psycho Sid also getting dropped. He's getting picked off, but he's so tanky. Pops like Ghost. He's going to get dropped down. That's one down for Mineski. You see Kaigu and Snoy getting close in there. Mancloud's finally going to close the gap. He's going to have to get focused on. You can see Stan United on towards him. That's going to be Mancloud going down, but Exo is also going to pay the price. You're going to see Requiem not going to find his target. Ace in the hole comes in. It was a 2 for 2, but it was Baron for Vulcan.
Uh-oh, but it's Xmithy getting caught right here.
He's going to get caught out. It's going to be the damage coming out, but Exo, Zuna comes in. Zuna puts the damage down. Snoy's going to have to try and slide away from this one, but he's not going to make it. Grasping Root comes out. Snoy taken so low, but forced away. That's also going to be a turret for Vulcan.
That was an incredible pickup right there. As soon as Mineski...
Vulcan Techbargains did manage to turn the Baron into a distinct advantage, picking up 2 towers. Mineski did manage to bag 1 in return, but what we're going to see in this next clip is basically Mancloud going pretty sick on Karthus. Beautifully timed Requiem does set up a good team fight right here for Vulcan Techbargains.
But it's going to be Mancloud? No, he's got out.
He's got out. Kaigu using that paranoia. Xmithy actually missing out on towards the cocoon there. He may get focused on. There's going to be Chain of Corruption landed on towards him, but they're having to back out. Stranglethorns popping Mineski back there, and now Kaigu's in trouble. He's got that Oracle on, but he may not last because Xmithy's going to pounce on towards him. He does survive. Ace in the hole comes out. TG catches that one, uses the box randomly. The Requiem comes through. That's going to find a double kill, and now Snoy's in trouble. He gets focused down. Finally, Vulcan starting to turn the screws on the Philippine team, and it's going to be Yume backing off. Exo gets caught out. Wither comes in. Vulcan closing the door. They do manage to get one. Yume's not going to be able to survive another, though, and that will be the ace for Vulcan. When they finally land it, it's Xmithy that closes it out.
Sweep away minions decently. This is a catch here on a Smithy. This might be good.
Xmithy repels away, catches on towards it. TG taken low. Stan United going to be used, but it's not enough. Teleport comes in. Psycho Sid's about to join the party. Jumps on towards a Yume. Yume taken very low from this one. Psycho Sid does manage to get room prisoned up there. They're trying to get away from this one. That's going to be Exo going down in the backside to Mancloud. Meanwhile, Psycho Sid romps on through the whole base, and that surely will be the game.
With Psycho Sid's Nasus putting the exclamation point in the victory there for Vulcan Techbargains, they did look pretty good towards the end, but they showed some vulnerabilities and weaknesses in the early game. Will that be exploited by teams of a higher stature than Mineski? Probably so. So we're going to move on to the next game now, which will be Fnatic versus Gambit Gaming, of course. We're going to join the game at 1-1 on kills. What we are going to see is Yellow Star and Puzu link up on the bottom lane for a kill.
In this game, I can tell you that Genja not going for triple Doran Blade on Misfortune is a pretty big deal. It's something he's been doing all year long. This time around, I'm going for that double. And now we see actually Solar Flare catching onto Genja. I feel he's going to be able to back away. No, gets locked up. Chain of Corruption. Great stun GCC chain here. And that is going to be Genja going.
I feel the need to say that this was a fairly one-sided drubbing. Gambit Gaming didn't seem to show up against Fnatic. We are going to see in this next clip Alex each make a very uncharacteristic mistake and a 4-for-0 team fight that goes in favour of Fnatic.
Here comes the fight. fight.
Chain of Corruption on towards Diamond. He launches himself back in there. Crescendo comes out, but it's the damage for Fnatic that's doing the job. They get one, get two, get in on towards Diamond. They get the slow on him. Soaz comes bouncing on in there, and Cyanide should finish this one out. It will be another kill. That is a 3-for-0 exchange. Fnatic looking strong. Alexis tries to come around the side, realizing this is a bad idea. Get the hell away from this fight.
Yeah, Alex used his ultimate to try to find his way in and didn't find anything. All he can do is keep his mid lane turret alive with wild cards, but here comes Soaz!
Let's bounce, lock up, and that's going to be another...
After the team fight on mid, which saw basically Gambit smashed, we do see Fnatic go on to basically maintain dominance. They control the Drake throughout, and what we are going to see now is exactly how Fnatic closed up the game.
Driving out, Solar Flare lands, Diamond Prox just gets dropped where he stands. Chain of Corruption on towards Voidal, Voidal gets hammered as well. It's a double for Pushu. Darian next target, he's tanky, but he's not that tanky. He can't prevent 5 members of Fnatic just stomping on his face. Peke picks up the kill. Bottom inhibitor goes down, middle inhibitor.
Congratulations to Fnatic, commiserations to Gambit. Gambit did not seem to turn up with their game heads on though. Anyway, that was the 5th and final of Tuesday's games, so we are going to take a look forward to Wednesday's fixtures. 5 more games to come, of course. You will see them just on the left-hand side of the screen on the overlay. I don't have them in front of me, so I need to look at the monitor, so you'll have to excuse me for a second. But the first of the games will be Lemon Dogs versus OMG, and that should be a corker of a game. That should really be a solid game, to be quite honest. Looking forward to that game. That starts at 4 a.m. CEST, which is easy for me to say, 3 a.m. GMT, and 6 p.m. Californian time, so West Coast, yeah. Next game up after that will be at 5 a.m. That will be SKT1 taking on Gaming Gear EU. And then we do have TSM Snapdragon taking on Lemon Dogs the hour after that. The 7 a.m. game, that will be Gaming Gear EU versus the Chinese powerhouse of OMG. And then finally, we will have SK Telecom T1 taking on TSM Snapdragon. So some great games to come on Wednesday. Of course, we will have another highlights package up as soon as it's humanly possible. So for myself and everybody into LoL, it is time to bid you adieu. Huge thank you to the guys at Riot for actually giving us the rights to the footage. Got to give those guys mad props. And also got to point out that they are doing a great job with the actual World Finals so far. So if you want to get in touch with myself, if you want to find out any of the other projects that I am doing here into LoL, you can give me a follow on Twitter. It is at Jason_Atkins. Of course, comment, rate, subscribe, all that kind of good stuff. Give us some upvotes on Reddit, whatever you feel like is appropriate. We don't solicit for money or anything like that. All we want is your feedback and you to help cross promote something that hopefully will be good for esports in general. So once again, from myself and everybody here at Intel, goodbye.